sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished. We should tell him the truth.
Hello and welcome back to A Stark Contrast, where we discuss the differences and similarities from Marvel Comics to their MCU counterparts. And we are your hosts, Geoffrey
and Dai.
Hello, and welcome back, everybody.
What's up?
Hello. Yes.
We are here, Jeff.
Yes.
We are recording something that we've not done before, which is a double.
Yes.
We're doing a double.
We're doing a double because
conflicting
life is starting to pick up.
Yes, it is. The world is opening up. The world is in chaos. The world is on fire. The world is great. I don't know.
Gas prices are astronomically high.
Exactly. And so things are getting busy. And so my good friend here and I are going to do a double. And we're going to try and pull a somewhat all-nighter, finish this mini Marvel, and then roll into our next episode. So if you don't know which one it is yet, you got to wait and then listen to it.
You're doing a little back-to-back action here.
Back-to-back.
So bear with us.
Bear with us. It's going to be a long night. So, I mean, I guess we can get into it. First and foremost, welcome to Mini Marvel number 4.
Oh, yes.
Where we talk about the broader Marvel universe and the MCU's hottest topics, sort of. So yeah, and this is a more loose edition of the show. A lot of just random stuff is going to come up. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to share some fun Patreon news.
Oh no, I'm going to scroll down.
He doesn't want the spoilers. So a gigantic thanks to our latest We Are Groot Salute member, Tyler Chintanner, who is co-founder of A Wave Blue World, a fantastic indie comic book publisher based out of New York. So thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. Yeah.
He's been incredibly vocal on social about how we're apparently his favorite podcast. And I'm just like, dude.
That still boggles my mind.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? It's unreal. But thank you so much, Tyler. We really appreciate it. And additionally, we have new listener news. Jeffrey?
Like new
countries.
Ooh, I love this.
These are my favorites.
Yeah.
So, God, let's see if I can say this. I was listening to the pronunciation before we started recording, but a tremendous I messed it up. I'm so sorry. Mulchimesk.
I'll take it.
Thank you to our new friends in Romania.
What?
Home of Sebastian Stan.
I know.
So thank you very much.
Maybe it is him. I'm just
Hey Seb, what's up? How you doing? Great work on your latest releases.
It's so fun.
So we got Mulchimesk. I think that's it. I tried. I'm so sorry. But yes, thank you to our friends in Romania for listening.
That's awesome, man.
We might have to do the Winter Soldier episode sooner than expected at this point.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So that said, let's get into it.
Before we go, maybe we should thank everybody for listening to the Gwen Stacy episode. Dai texted me an abnormal stat.
Yeah, like apparently
the other day.
Yeah, again, we look at our stats and we check out our standings and hope to God somebody's listening. But not to get too deep into details, but the Gwen Stacy episode is our highest downloaded episode in 1 week's time of all of the characters we have covered so far.
Wild.
Why? I don't know, but I'm 100% here for it. I don't know. It's like, that's for me, right? For me, I'm like, oh, of course. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, that's so interesting to me because I've always felt like I was just the one. Like, I'm the one of 10.
Sure.
If there's a room full of Spider-Man love interest fans.
I guess.
Right? Like, I'm surrounded by 9 Mary Janes. So, wow.
I'll
take it. That's incredible.
I mean, Damn. Yeah. I was like, Gwen. I'm like, and that's not even, that's only one part.
And it's only like kind of technically half.
Yeah. We got a part 2 of Gwen coming out. And so that's amazing. We love that.
It. I'm so glad that the reception's been so great about that one. And also a shout out to all the little Gwen Stacy fans that just like came out of nowhere and just started bombarding me on Twitter. I was like, oh, what happened?
Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Fantastic. So thank you. But yeah, I wanted to mention some new Patreon goodies for what's left of winter and coming into spring. Like again, like when you become a Patreon patron, you get to weigh in on some of the episodes, you get your questions read no matter what. You can ask Geoffrey pop quizzes and then you get your name in the episodes. I revealed on Patreon that people who are finally rolling into their 1-year anniversary, believe it or not. Yeah, the look on Jeff's face right now. Like, whoa. Next month is our 1 year.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Whoa. Oh my God.
Wow. Oh man, that was genius. I loved seeing that in real time.
Wow.
1 year next month. Yeah.
That's insane.
So we have some incredible friends who are family, and they've really believed in us from the get-go, and so I wanted to do something special. And so 1 year Patreons or levels $3 and up are gonna get that cute little mug that that Jeff and I have with our chibi variants. So that's just a heads up. So once your 1 year comes around, just keep an eye out in the mail. And speaking of that, we also have these chibi variant stickers that just went out, and I think almost everybody got theirs already. So
I think so.
Cool.
I was seeing it a lot. I was
everybody was posting them.
Every time I go on Twitter sometimes, and my notifications are more than 2, and I'm like, either we got tagged in something or Dai posted something and someone retweeted. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's always great.
It's good news. Yeah. So enjoy. We hope you enjoy that stuff. We really love making stuff for you and of course the show. So again, thanks to everybody for their support. I wanted to get into some other gifts for us, actually, that we have received. A good friend of mine, 100% Soft, he is the graphic design artist who's well known for doing all those cute little emojis at the end of hashtags for Marvel films, as well as some Disney and Star Wars. He's basically got the holy trinity there. He's slowly releasing a set of Marvel Studio pins. And so if you by chance saw my post or whatever, he released the Hawkeye set first on February 22nd. And just as of yesterday, he released the Loki set. So those are out. You can get them on his website at 100soft.shop. They're $10 a piece. They're really cute. And
they look super cool in person.
It's awesome. And it's straight from him. So check them out if you haven't yet. And then our friends at Marvel sent us a couple of new books. So back in summer, they actually sent us an early copy of Black Panther, the Black Panther young adult novel. Mm-hmm. And we just received 2 more, one of which I can't talk about yet.
That's right. Because it's
not out. It's not close to being out yet, but it is. We did receive an amazing, no pun intended, uncorrected advance proof of this book that we will talk about later on.
When it does.
Before it drops.
Yeah.
But the book that we can talk about is the new Okoye to the People novel written by New York Times best-selling author Ibi Zoboi. And
such a cool cover.
It's so great. And so I don't know if you want to look at that, Jeff, but I just started that, and the writing already is just so magnificent, and it's very much like the Wakandan Prince series, where they're painting this portrait of a younger Wakanda and its people, and following these characters in their younger years and what ultimately shapes them to become the versions that we now know in the comics and the movies. So if you're into Okoye, Wakanda, you love books, I mean, hell, you got to get this one. This one comes out March 22nd, I believe. Yeah, so that's really awesome.
Super cool.
So thanks for that, Marvel. So before we get into the latest MCU news, I went on eBay.
Okay.
I started searching the things.
Okay.
Let me tell
on
you,
eBay.
Jeff.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Jeff. Somebody on eBay is selling the first appearance of Spider-Man
Ooh.
in the Amazing Fantasy number 15. Plus key issues 16 through 50.
Okay, that's a lot.
All graded
Okay.
7.0 or higher.
Oh, not bad.
For $700,000.
Oh, I thought you were gonna stop at 700. I was like,
If it was just 700, I would have bagged it by now. But like, can you imagine the first appearance? The Amazing Fantasy alone is worth all of those books. So I was just like, wow. And shipping is $700.
imagine ordering it.
Can you?
You're like, and then you can see the shipping added. You're like, ooh, I don't know.
Oh man, I don't know.
It's like, $700 for shipping, but $700,000 for all. I don't know.
Like, oh my lord, so
that's a lot.
It is the equivalent of a home, or at least a 2-bedroom.
That's like a studio in downtown.
Exactly. Jesus. Yeah. So someone is selling that. I don't know if it's still up, but
was it bid? Was it like? Did you see if there's any bids on it?
No, and I think it had. I think at the time, if it's not still up, it was up there for at least a week, and so I don't know that anybody's biting because that's a big chunk of change. $700,000.
There is someone out there that's willing to pay that.
Dude, you know, Nick Cage is like sitting there going, "Oh, I don't know. I could use another copy of all of these." He's a big comic book fan.
Who?
Nick Cage.
Oh yeah.
So I could see him just being like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll take another copy."
Dude, oh my god.
Hey Jeff, can I borrow $700,700?
If you're a Patreon patron, and you want to donate,
Yeah, seriously.
to get all these issues,
Oh my gosh.
we will give you one of the issues.
I know. You can have them all except for that first one. That's
We will
all
give you one issue if you donate $100,000.
All we need is 7 people.
Oh my, that's insane.
That's insane. But that's like, honestly, at the same time, shocking because it's not 7 million or something. You know what I mean? Like it's
like it could easily be that.
Yeah, like it's like
just off that first appearance.
Yeah, because it's like quote unquote only $700,000. I was just like, what? Because yeah, you know, the Amazing Fantasy alone is usually $1 million, $2 million.
You think this guy knows?
Oh yeah, he knows. They're graded comics, unless he got them from like a dead uncle or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Woo. Anyway, I was just astonished by that.
Hope he sells it.
I hope he sells it. I hope it goes to a great home.
It's just such an insane amount of money. Like
so
I
much
couldn't even
money.
imagine. Like if I saw that amount of money in my bank account get transferred because of a sale, I'd be like,
I know that's the part that's nutty, right?
I mean, like,
you think
what?
about that end of it, like, wow, dude, that person can live off of. Anyway,
jeez,
isn't me.
I know.
So, latest in the MCU, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be a lot you because you know how I am. But so we have new trailers that have been released in the last few weeks. First of which we'll talk about is the Moon Knight trailer.
Yes.
So we talked a little bit about this in previous episodes in passing, but nothing full on. But I think we both agreed that Moon Knight is essentially a character that we're not too familiar with.
Yeah.
Overall.
Overall, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah, you have no
background knowledge at all.
It's going to be a part.
The only knowledge I do have is like whatever people on Twitter would how to describe. But if I didn't have social media, I would have no idea who this character is.
No concept. Yeah, again, he's a very interesting character. And then they just released the Mr. Knight poster, which is really
those posters
too.
are insane.
They're so good. I can't wait to see his portrayal of this character or all three characters.
Next question: how many people you think are going to be him for Halloween this year?
Ooh.
There's going to be a lot of good ones.
That's what kind of blows my mind because sure, we're going to conventions is one thing, and like seeing cosplayers that have put time and effort into these really beautiful and elaborate costumes is one thing.
Yeah.
And it is fascinating because you're like, dude, there's some that are so accurate that are more accurate than the films.
Oh, than an actual costume. Yeah.
Like they're so
100%.
Good. Like you see like Iron Man's.
Oh, I've seen a lot where I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, right. Like rescues, like oh my gosh. But to see characters like a Daredevil or like a whoever, in like walking around collecting candy.
Oh.
Or like seeing the costume in like a Target is kind of wild to me. So that's a great point. Like imagining all these people like either in a proper Moon Knight or like an homage, like a closet cosplay.
Yeah.
Where they're just wearing white. That's gonna be dope.
I mean, and this guy has like 30 different personalities.
Yeah.
So imagine how many different costumes he can have.
It's gonna be so
or how
cool.
many we'll even see in the show. So it's like everyone has options.
Yeah, and it's the show is quite a lot of Egyptian lore. Yeah. So that's tapping into something we haven't quite seen in the Marvel universe so far. Cinematically at least, and so I really do. I'm still sticking to my guns about seeing Dane Whitman in the show, though. I don't know.
I mean,
museum curator.
You're not.
Overseas.
Yeah, you're not wrong to think that.
Right?
So
like, oh man, and do we know how many episodes this is yet? 8? Is it gonna? Don't say 6. Are you gonna say 6? You're gonna say 6.
I'll say 7.
No way. What?
Was it 8?
It's got to be 8. I feel like
forget,
it's 6,
I don't know. I forgot where I read. If I was like, is it 8 or
10?
7? Can't be 6.
I do not want to look because then I'll see a spoiler for it. I already know.
Sure. I want to say 8.
I think it's 8. I think it's 8
Give
too.
us 8.
Oh man. But we did ask on Instagram quite a while ago, like when the first trailer came out, like what was the hype? What was the hype meter? And everyone seems to be jazzed about it. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And who doesn't want some more Oscar Isaac?
That's also true. He's killing the game too.
Yeah, right. He's killing it. And then of course there's the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Did you watch that new little thing that just came out for the 2 weeks?
Yes.
Was there anything new in it?
I don't think so.
That you could tell?
No.
Okay.
But it's also just like, I'm also still just like, that second trailer for the Super Bowl was just like.
Oh, I know. With Wanda.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing.
Huh?
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Sir Patrick Stewart just casually.
He said, "Screw this.
Yeah,
I'm not Andrew Garfield. I can't do this.
It's like my favorite.
I'm too old to be keeping secrets."
I'm just trying to imagine him having a conversation about it. And just be like, oh no, I don't care.
I remember texting Dai. I was like, oh no, yeah. I think you sent it to me. Oh wait, no, that's the one where we sent each other the same thing at the same time.
Yes,
was it?
Yes.
Yeah. Like that.
And it was like he confirmed his cameo. I was like, what?
I was like, why would he fold like that? Like
it was literally up for a week. I think it must have been
I was like,
week.
I get like a younger character maybe slipping, like a Tom Holland, slipping, whatever.
Yeah.
But an older
Sir
actor
Pats was like I don't care about holding this information.
I thought that was like the funniest thing in the world because he was like, I don't know how they figured me out. They just saw the back of my right earlobe, and I was like, dude, there's only one Professor X in this.
There's only one Professor X for everybody.
Like, and I was like thinking about, and I kept rewatching. I kept watching the trailer, and then and then knowing Sir Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, and I was like. I kept rewatching that moment of his line, and I was just like, "Yeah, there's no one else that could have been like."
What's funny though is that in my immediate reaction when I watched that, I was just like, "Oh, that wasn't Doctor Strange." Like it was so beyond me that I was just like,
it's very obvious someone's bald head.
See, but I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was my brain gets so focused that I was just looking at Strange and being like, okay, concentrate, but don't read into any of it too hard.
Yeah.
And then the minute someone else was like, Patrick Stewart, and I was like, oh balls, it's Patrick Stewart.
and I kept listening to the voice, even like without even like seeing the. Even without seeing the over the shoulder, I was just like, we should tell him the truth. And I was like, there's no one else in comic book history that could be anyone else.
Right.
Like there's only one person that sounds like that distinctly.
Like when you told me, I was just like, nah. I'm not gonna have
Because the first thing I texted Di, I was like, so Professor X is confirmed? I would never text Di that unless like it was visually audibly there.
Yeah.
Like if it was like hinted or whatever, I wouldn't say anything because Dai tries to like become like stay pure. But when I rewatched it, I was like, he's very much obviously there. Like there's no like that's not Wolverine. Like that's not Magneto. That's not not Reed Richards. That's very distinctly Patrick Stewart. So I was like, Dai, that's him.
I'm just like it's so crazy because like in our Doctor Strange episode we even mentioned like we briefly spoke about Illuminati and the potential of that or Midnight Suns.
I remember
thing, right? And Midnight Suns kind of seemed more possible at the time, but the minute that trailer dropped, I was like, oh shoot, they're doing Illuminati. And everybody on the planet who's even remotely familiar with it was like, yeah. Especially with the Sir Pats like being in the trailer. I was like, well, I'm still holding out that it's like not necessarily it.
Sure.
But you know, that's what they do, right?
Give me another Ralph Boner like thing and I will laugh in everybody's face.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay with it. But that's incredible that it's actually him. So we at least know it's actually Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. I'll never forget. Yeah. Patrick Stewart was like, yeah, that's me. I don't know how you guys figured that out, but damn, you guys are good.
I actually didn't recognize my own voice. It sounded different. Whether I had a cold or something at the time, I don't know. But I was astonished. And all they saw was the back of my shoulder and I think my earlobe, nothing else, that there would have been so many connections made.
And then I was like watching like the mixed reactions like video of like that specific moment. Yeah. And literally a good chunk of those reactors who are like comic book, like, you know, fans or whatever, like they were literally like, Patrick Stewart? And I was just like, oh my God.
So funny. Oh my gosh. I must have been so pure of mind, like to not even.
It was also a lot to take in. Like even from that first trailer, like it's a lot to take in. And then that second trailer, they said, screw it. We'll give you everything.
Yeah. The kitchen sink.
Yeah. But then I was also telling Di, I was just like, if they're showing Patrick Stewart like audibly and, you know, half visually over the shoulder, that means there's more in this movie than we will ever freaking know. Even like
insane.
that variant or hero or villain that Wanda was fighting that looks like Captain Marvel. People are saying it's superior Iron Man.
Oh my God.
I know, but it's like I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna let that. No, people are even saying it's Captain Rambo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because whatever, but we'll never know because
we will know.
We will know
in 2 months' time.
Yeah,
in 2 months' time, we'll have some answers.
That movie is, I think.
You think it's going to be 2.5 or 3?
Well, personally, I don't mind watching 3-hour movies anymore.
Nope.
Regardless of maybe it's like mediocre.
Endgame and Infinity War and Endgame really did something to moviegoers, I think. Like before, it was just like 2.5 or 3 hours. Whoa!
Yeah.
And then
I remember when movies were moving to 2-hour runtime. People were like, "Oh my God, who wants to be at a movie theater for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Like 90 minutes is the peak." And it's like, no,
man.
I think like the worst part, the only bad thing about 3-hour movies with a TRT of 3 hours is just allotting that time in a day. Yeah. Because I watch. Yeah. Quick sidebar. I watched the Batman over the weekend, and obviously it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I was texting Di. I was like, because I had a free day, and I was like, it was just me. I wasn't doing anything. And so I was like, oh, I want to watch it. Should I watch it? Because I had like a busy morning too, and I was just like, oh, should I watch it like at 3 or whatever, and I was just like, if I watch it at 3, I'm not gonna get out till almost 6:30 or 7. And I was like,
7.
okay. So then
7
immediately
easy.
I was just like, there's a 1:30 showing. I was like, okay, I'm going to that one.
Yeah.
And I was out by like 5,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
It's half a day.
and yeah, that's
It's
like the
pretty much
worst.
half a
That's
day.
I guess like that's like the worst thing about 3-hour movies is just allotting like that much time. Because like if you were to watch a midnight showing, holy crap.
Oh my gosh. I know. Do they? I mean, I'm sure they do. They still have midnight showings, even though
Like
movies
legit
are showing,
midnight showings. Yeah.
Woo.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, but I wouldn't mind it if it was 3 hours. But also, I would hope it's 3 hours if they're packing this much stuff.
There's gonna be so much stuff.
There's 3 versions of Doctor Strange in this movie.
Oh my god. I just can't.
One for each hour.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
It's gonna be intense.
it's gonna be. People are saying it's gonna be bigger than No Way Home, and
Yeah.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
Because that means people are always saying like Marvel can't do better than. They can't do better than Avengers. They can't do better than Age of Ultron. They can't do better than Civil War.
And
they can't do they can't do better than Infinity War. They can't do better than Endgame.
Yeah.
And they keep
They
upping
keep
themselves.
upping it. Well, I think also that Doctor Strange is really going to set course for everything else because of everything we saw from the Disney Plus shows or didn't see from the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
And how they're all kind of leading into this one stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to explode, right? And so everything is going to just
it's gonna be
set course for every other movie and character.
It's gonna be so annoying. Everyone's gonna be so annoying on the internet.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's the thing. That's why I'm just like, if they do a fan screening before, or if they do like a premiere thing, and people start, and this is why I like to see the movie as early as humanly possible. Not because I want bragging rights, because I hate the people that have bragging rights, and then they ruin it for everybody else.
I've definitely done I'll be scrolling and I'm like, oh no, okay.
Oh my gosh. So I mean, yeah, I'm so speechless about it because there is so much to unpack of the trailer.
Yeah.
And also there's just so much going on that's I think they're kind of using a diversion tactic to kind of pull you away from the bigger matters. And so they're showing all these cards that are like, oh my God, Wanda, oh my God, Sir Pats, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But really like the essence of the film, I feel is going to be, it's going to take us all by surprise. Like it's going to be something so much bigger.
And I like that it allows Disney, Marvel to do the Moon Knights, to do like these characters that like probably Moon Knight wouldn't be possible as a TV show 5 years ago.
Oh yeah,
7 years ago, 10 years ago.
Well, it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy effect, right?
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's like there wouldn't have. I mean, the fact that they were able to even pull off a Guardians of the Galaxy made way for the other characters that weren't so great, like Ant-Man.
Yeah,
and not so well known and not so well welcomed. And now we have a freaking Moon Knight series.
Moon Knight, She-Hulk series,
She-Hulk,
Armor Wars.
Like, no way would I have ever thought.
We have a Groot series coming out.
Yes, we do.
Like it's exciting. I mean, I know people are like, there's so much Marvel, and it's like, yeah, well, it's been. Oh my God, it's been like 15 years.
Yeah,
almost 15 years. Like just to even like
15,
just to get to this point, So it's like you can't.
Yeah, and I thought of something today because, there's always that commentary from a director of cinema, right? That's like, well, all the Marvel movies are the same, and how it gets people so riled up. But you can't say that it's not successful, true or untrue as it may be.
Sure. Obviously everyone has opinion, and I get it. Totally get it.
You can't. You have to admit it is a feat to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Because it's really for on the good side of things, it really has paid off for so many people and made so many people obnoxiously happy. Yeah. Yours truly included. That it's like, man, it's really nice to kind of have this thing that you can look back on and be like, yeah, it's been 15 years, but it's like, what an investment to feel like it's really, you're growing along with
and to bet on a studio like Marvel who was struggling incredibly hard, like late 90s, early 2000s. Bankrupt. And like the other point I wanted to make was like, look at superhero media in the late in the 90s and 2000s, like live action at least, superheroes.
It's like the milk commercial that we were just looking at the other day from my new friend on Instagram, the Nostalgia King or something, right?
Yeah.
And how like in the 90s there's this old they had this Got Milk campaign, and it was on the back of every comic book, and they even had a commercial where they had the original quote unquote Avengers in a milk commercial, represented like so true to form from the comic. It was like, looking back on it, it's like, wow, that's what they look like. But at the time, like the excitement that alone like fulfilled for me as a child and so many others 90s kids was just like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And that was like a 45-second commercial. Yeah. So then you fast forward into these 2000s, and like we're in 15 years deep into this like cinematic universe. If you include the Sony stuff, 20 years, over 20 years, which is like, oh my gosh,
the same people,
half my lifetime.
The same people that probably said in the late 90s or early 2000s saying comic book films will never be a thing in cinema, that are now the same ones saying, oh, there's too much.
There's too much of it.
It's like it's ruining, and it's like come on.
That's like, come on. Yeah, exactly. And but yet somehow Avatar gets a pass. I don't understand how that works.
And that thing is coming out every 7 years.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Anyway, not to go down that route. But you know what? Speaking of exciting, how about that Morbius trailer? I haven't watched.
You didn't watch that final one, right?
I didn't watch the new one, so this is all on you. Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
And
I love watching trailers.
And how do you like it? Because I've seen the one that they're showing in front of Batman and all the other movies and stuff, but I haven't seen the one that they just released.
I don't think there's that much difference to it. Yeah,
okay.
It's just,
see, Miss Pure over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, yeah. I mean, I am excited for that one. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. What I love from my perspective as a fan is that I'm seeing people slowly and gradually get more excited about it.
Yes.
At first it was kind of like, oh, interesting, Morbius, interesting choice.
Yeah. For Sony,
Yeah, for Sony to do a film like this, especially because aside Carnage and Venom, this is the first character that's not Spider-Man and/or Venom. Yeah, directly Spider-Man adjacent, and having him involved, or so we know. And it is a lesser known character overall because he wasn't. I mean, he had a little cameo in Blade at the end. I think it was one or two. I don't remember. It might have been deleted actually. But he wasn't like it's not a redo of a character.
Yes,
it's a completely new character.
Yeah, original Sony character.
Right,
yeah.
And so to watch people get increasingly excited about it is so great. And then I tweeted the other week about how when the trailer was like shared via Spider-Man, I was like, dude, this is so surreal. Because like to know Jared and then see this coming out and see this under the Spider-Man umbrella, I'm just like, dude, this is so crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
So crazy to me. But I'm like so happy.
Yeah, because usually sometimes when it's like one of those, especially like for Sony, like to no offense, it's just like sometimes like it's really hit or miss, but especially when that first trailer comes out.
Yeah.
So you're just like sometimes it may come off a little cheesy or a little like falls a little flat.
Right.
But I think I do remember seeing like the first trailer, not before the pandemic. But I really do remember that. But then I think there was another one like a couple months ago or whatever.
Right.
I was just like, oh yeah. Oh no, it was like it was a clip.
It was a clip.
It was actually clip pulled.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, this is good. Like this is nice. Like the way that it's like set up. It's not like cheesy. It's not over the top. It's just it's grounded in that world. Yeah. And it makes sense. And I was like, this looks like it could do pretty well. Yeah. And then because like you see Spidey, glimpses of Spidey in the movie.
You know, I'm so confused.
Yeah, and then Michael Keaton made an appearance. Yeah. And then it's those little snippets that are like, okay, now I want to see even more because I want to see how that connects.
But here's a question for you. Do you think that this film being pushed a year, 2 years from its original point.
Yeah.
Do you think No Way Home has kind of skewed the anticipation for it or the expectations for it because of the Spider-Man trio? Like before, when we saw the Spider-Man graffiti cameo, everyone was like, whoa, it's Tobey's, but it's got Michael Keaton, so that's Tom Holland's. So does that mean that Andrew Garfield is in the movie?
100%, yeah.
But then now it's not such a far-fetched concept.
It isn't.
Because of No Way Home.
If any, I mean, depending who you're asking, it either help the movie or it took away from the movie. I mean, depends who you're asking. It's like, oh, now that I know that, Tobey and Andrew made an appearance here, like, or it's like, ooh, if they're in there, then what's possible here in Morbius?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if No Way Home affected and like the dates pushed back Morbius, I feel like if it affected Morbius insanely, I felt like that we would have gotten like leaks of like reshoots for the movie, and I don't ever remember seeing like Morbius is like reshoots or blah, blah, blah. But that's just me like thinking way deep into it, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I don't think it's a negative. Personally, I don't think it isn't affected negatively. I'm still very intrigued to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think Jared playing as Morbius, I thought like on the scenes that he was playing him, I was like, you know what, this looks really good.
Yeah.
And hopefully the story carries over.
Yeah, I agree.
And kind of captures, but then even to top it off, you have these Spider-Man throw-ins that you're like, now it makes you curious.
Yeah.
And you want to finish it out. Yeah.
I'm definitely on the side of curiosity because I'm just like, does it? And even if it didn't all come together, like it doesn't have to because they're world building.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Is a world building.
They're building this Sony
movie.
Spider-Verse.
Right.
And you're like, okay, like let's see what they can do because we all saw like what WB and DC did, what they tried to do, and
what they tried to do.
And it was. I mean, it's. I think it's better now. But. Before you can just tell that they were trying incredibly hard.
It was very clumsy.
Yeah. It was very rushed. But
so I think, and I said it before and I'll say it again and I'll say it until my last breath. Like this is the character that Jared was meant to play. If he was going to be anybody in the Marvel universe, this is definitely his. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. only have heard good things so far. So
yeah. We're getting close.
I know.
So close.
Next month.
No, it's this month. Well, technically.
Oh, wait.
Because the early screenings begin on the 31st.
Early screenings, yes, but release date out is okay.
Dang it, we're both right. It's okay. I keep forgetting it's April 1st.
Yeah.
Like it's April 1st. Like, oh yeah, right. But yeah, I believe tickets aren't on sale yet, but they hopefully will be by the time this episode drops.
Yeah.
If not just after, but I think they're doing it 2 weeks out now, right? I don't know.
Early screenings?
Yeah, for first looks.
Somewhere about there.
So the 28th, maybe about March 14th. Yeah. So be sure to go and check out Morbius if you can. And then next up, the Netflix shows are officially off the platform. I was so sad to log on to Netflix.
And it's not there.
And then my Jessica Jones avatar was gone. I was like, oh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they took the avatars down. I was like, oh, that hurts. And I had like a random like blob. And I was like, oh. But the shows will be in most territories.
I think it's going to be on.
By the time this episode drops, all of them should be on Disney Plus.
In US too.
In the US, in Canada, and I think like other.
Good for them.
Yeah. So
I know there's a lot of controversy with withholding those specific shows on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but they did introduce the age filter settings thing. Yeah. So again, they did their part. It's up to the parents to make sure that stuff
you can't get mad at a service.
Yeah, you can't.
If you're not restricting your kids if you don't want them to see that.
So for anyone who hasn't yet been able to explore the street level heroes, they will all be on Disney Plus as well as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's hey, there's a bingeable show if I ever saw one.
True.
You'll be able to do that as of March 14th or whatever day it is. And I almost didn't want to put this on our list because we just talk about Spider-Man so much, but it's okay because we love Spidey. But it's been revealed that the digital and home release editions of Spider-Man No Way Home will not only contain a slew of cameos, but 100 minutes of bonus footage.
Dude, they know. Like, they know what to give the audience.
They did. I love them so much.
20 plus minutes of just Peter and of
Peter
Toby and Andrew.
Yeah,
of Peter
so
and Peter.
Yeah, and then we're on the threshold of them releasing spotlights for each Spider-Man, and so this week is Andrew week, and I love that. And
oh my God, let me tell you, today on Twitter. So I think they posted.
Tobey Maguire was trending before we started recording.
Oh, was he?
I was like,
Oh, and there was a still of a deleted scene from the movie of like when they were going to Happy's apartment.
Yeah.
And they were all in the elevator, and it was like Doc Ock, like all
really?
all of them were in an elevator.
Oh,
like
God.
because
Marissa
Tomei and
right.
Tom Holland, they're in a it was a picture still.
That's hilarious.
And then I was looking at the replies, and then there were some people who were legitimately like, "Yo, what the hell, spoiler?" And people were like, "What?" Like
what?
Spoiler? Like,
how do you?
Movie's been out for 3 months. Like, if you haven't seen it, okay, fine, I guess. Yeah. But don't expect to like not see anything if you know.
What?
Like,
and also that's. I mean, that scene is nobody's seen it yet. Twitter.
I was like, spoiler. Like, even if you haven't seen the movie that's been out for 3 months, it's like you can't get mad at a studio promoting something that's like.
I'm just curious what exactly they're calling the spoiler. Are they calling the fact that they're in an elevator together a spoiler? That they're all together at all?
Maybe.
That like Doc Ock is in it and Electro? Like,
maybe.
I am confused. That is very strange.
I was like, what?
Whatever, dude. Like, this is.
Or even like that new the special features trailer that came out today, and it had it was so weird seeing like Andrew and Toby like in the promotional material, and I was like, whoa, like that's insane.
Yeah.
Someone was like, spoiler, like.
Well, I mean, hopefully anybody who thought that they were all photoshopped is now like realizing, oh. No, this is real.
It was incredibly real.
It happened. They're in the movie together again. Go watch it if you haven't yet. And if you haven't yet, well, it'll be out in a week.
So hilarious.
So it arrives digitally March 22nd, and you can buy it on Blu-ray DVD on April 12th.
Woo!
And then we're going to talk so much about this.
Once both of us see these special features,
oh gosh,
we might just do an episode on just these special features, man.
We love Peter Parker, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. So, I meant to pull together more commentary that we have actually received on social. Speaking of social and Twitter and such, and I found one that I kind of dropped the ball on. It's from after the Shang-Chi episode.
Okay.
And this comes courtesy of Nats. Thanks, Nats. Nats is from I believe the UK. And Nats had commented us. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna take it back. Take it back.
Okay.
Take it back to
when Shang-Chi first came out.
Summerish, yeah. When Shang-Chi first came out, and we had just covered it. We have an episode. I believe he's number 11 or something around there. Yeah, he's.
You know better than I do. I don't know the numbers.
I know. Shoot, but we do have a Shang-Chi character study. So please go listen to it if you will. But Nats says, okay, yeah, Shang-Chi is as good as you guys said, duh. But I have a few questions. One, how are there still people who leave before the credits are done? Tell me what you think, Geoffrey. After 15 years of Marvel Cinematic Universe films, where there is quite literally a stinger at the end of every film.
Well, my first defense, because it's Shang-Chi, is I'm sure a lot of people who saw Shang-Chi were a lot of Asian people.
Yeah.
That maybe just they don't follow Marvel, but they just saw that it's an Asian-led movie.
Fair enough.
And they're like, I want to see this.
Yeah.
Cool. Movie's done.
I'm gonna go.
Boom.
Yeah, my mother's like, is it done? And like, she knows enough to ask, but she didn't quite know enough to know.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, is it done? Let's go. I have to go to the bathroom.
I don't have a problem with people. It's not even a problem. It's just like when people, if it's a Marvel, if people leave after, like that first mid-credit scene, you know, it is what it is. Cool, it's fine. You probably like, you don't want to watch the whole credits and wait, you know. But if you're a Marvel fan and you know what you're getting yourself into, you're gonna wait no matter what.
Right.
Even if you're gonna wait until the lights come on in the theater, 100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I want to say that for most people, it's just they don't know.
They don't know, huh?
And that's fine. Like no one expects you to. But it is funny being on this side of it, where you're in a movie theater, movie's done, and you just sit back and you're just like waiting. But then you see people who are like, all right, cool. Like,
or who have already begun to get up by the time. Yeah.
Like, wow, what does that feel like?
Right. Like, oh my gosh. Now here's the question for you. Has the stinger effect?
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to ask. And yes, it's affected everything. It's
every
affected,
film, right? Every film. Doesn't matter if it's Marvel or not.
I don't know if this is a crappy comparison. I was on Netflix. I was watching Netflix like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
First, funny enough, I was watching Scooby-Doo.
James Gunn.
Shout out James Gunn.
Yeah, for those of you, by the way, who don't know, James Gunn.
He wrote the first Scooby-Doo.
The first Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's why it's freaking amazing.
It's incredible.
And like, for some reason, the credits started rolling, and I was just like, I should wait. I should wait.
Like, what if?
And there was some credits.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
There's one where it's Shaggy and Scooby. They're eating.
Doesn't Scrappy come in or something for the first one? Because he's not until the second one, right?
No, he's in the first one.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in the first one. He's the spoiler alert.
Oh, right.
He's the villain. Sorry, movie came out in 2000.
And, it was old.
And I know it was Shaggy and Scooby eating at a restaurant. And they're like, "You want another one, my man?" He's like, "Ree." Yeah, and it's like a credit after credits. And then I was watching another
James Gunn.
I was watching another movie. Funny enough, not another teen movie.
Oh God.
With Chris Evans.
Of course, your favorite.
I was just watching it. I was like, and then this goes back to the 3-hour movie standpoint. This movie's only like 90 minutes. Yeah. So it's easy to digest.
Super
and I'm like,
fast.
let it run, whatever. I can finish it.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, the movie was running and it was done. And I was just like, I feel like I should wait. I feel like I should wait. And it sucks.
But it's actually quite funny because it used to be so common for movies in the late 90s going into the aughts that there was something.
Shout out to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right?
I think that was the first, right?
I think historically it might have been.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so, and that's why Deadpool did the exact
same
the
same thing.
I think you're right. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, like I feel like it's people forget that it was a thing before Marvel. Like it's not a new concept. It's kind of like the hidden track in CDs back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like no, same as you. If I'm watching something on Netflix or Amazon and I see that there's like 5 minutes left. Yeah. Because of the Disney Plus shows, I'm like, is there a thing? But then it's just like 5 minutes of credits
because they have to do the country credits,
international,
and I'm like, damn it, I got
you got
like oh my god, like when WandaVision, oh my god,
that was
I was losing my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and there wasn't a post credits until the 7th episode, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I got total false sense of security, and then the one time I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and then it popped up, and I was like, oh. Yeah. Never mind.
So now my anxiety kicks in when I watch a movie because it's like,
yeah, right.
What the hell?
Yeah. And then she further says, "How is Michelle Yeoh so amazing? And then how come there's not an eject button for people who talk during the film?" I can definitely. I mean, Michelle Yeoh is Michelle Yeoh. What else can we say?
Oh, yeah, she's super iconic.
She's incredible. The eject button, I will say, yeah. There's always somebody. There's always somebody.
I mean, if you're going to talk, at least like whisper.
Right? Like, oh, gosh. When I went to that special screening of an unnamed movie that I'm not supposed to talk about, but it might be starring, might be starring Zachary Levi, and it's a sequel for a Thunderstruck kind of film. The couple next to me talked the entire time.
Why?
The entire time.
I don't get people. I don't get talking during a film.
Dude, I also felt a little bad because the creative team was watching it for the first time with us. Right, because it was such an early
super
version
early
of
in the
film.
stage. Yeah.
Excuse me, yeah, and it was like the first rough. It was
What were they
first
talking
cut.
about?
They were talking about the film.
They were talking about the film.
Yeah, in real time. I was like, "What is happening?"
Dude,
but literally
God.
did not let up. I had to sit different so that the
Yeah,
sound carried
yeah.
differently, and I had to cover my ear. And I had to lean to the left because I was just like, oh my God, you're ruining the experience for me. But I'm surprised they didn't get kicked out, to be honest, because they were so loud and so distracting. And it was just like, oh my goodness. And yeah, like some of the CGI or the FX or somebody, the producers maybe were behind them. And I was like, ah.
Like, do you know like what who you're watching this stuff
Honestly,
with right now?
I was very shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Nats.
Just don't.
That might be a thing of the future. Eject button.
Just don't talk during a film.
Don't do it, guys. Be nice. Be courteous. Keep your comments for for after the film, or start a podcast. Because that works for us.
It does work for us. This is our outlet.
But I will say, Nats did leave a new comment as of yesterday.
Woo!
So thanks, Nats. And she says simply, keep up the great work, you guys. Loving the pod.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we got actually, again, another older comment, but I promised him I would mention it on the show. We got some recommended reading from Super Fanboy Guy on Instagram.
Nice. What a name.
Who wanted to call back to our Doctor Strange episode. Don't ask me the number. I cannot. 21. 21? 20.
You're definitely
21 or 20.
You're definitely probably right.
Yeah, for sure. And he had some suggested reading to add. Basically wanted to add in Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment by Jerry Conway, aka the man who killed Gwen Stacy. Super Fanboy Guy says, although it's typically not a standalone Doctor Strange book, it's still pretty good. So if you want some other Doctor Strange material, pick that one up. It sounds very interesting, especially if you like Doctor Doom. And then on Instagram, we got a comment from Captain_Cheese.
Woo!
Is it cheese?
Yes.
Caesar cheese.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of salad.
It's fine. Salads are nice. Shout out Caesar. Thanks, man. You the best.
Little Caesar. I hear you have bat calzones. Will you do a Jubilee episode soon? I would love to know more about her.
Ooh.
Are you ready to go to the Fox first, Jeff?
Oh man. I mean, it's all the material's all there.
You would have to watch
all those new ones.
Just the new ones.
All those new ones.
Although, if you want to throw in an extra bone, you would have to watch the Generation X TV movie.
Okay.
But it's like so good because it's so kitschy.
Okay.
It's so kitschy. She's kind of prominent.
That's also Olivia Munn's character, right? Or am I thinking of?
Oh, you're thinking Psylocke. Jubilee is the one with the fireworks that come out of her hands.
Oh, okay.
From the original OG series.
Okay.
Yeah. She's who's our other Asian friend? She's from All the Boys That I Loved or Kissed Before.
Oh no!
What's her name?
Yes, does it start with an L?
Oh, I think you're right.
Lana
Condor.
Lana Condor. Yes.
Oh, she's gorgeous. Yeah, she played Jubilee in the newer films.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to definitely. I didn't see Dark Phoenix. I did not see that one.
Dark Phoenix was from.
But I remember, quick side tangent for the new X-Men stuff. I remember when First Class came out, and that was kind of like a rebirth of X-Men from the Last Stand days or whatever. So and that was like rough. Like towards the tail end of that kind of saga.
Oh yeah.
It was like rough.
Oh yeah. That led into like X-Men Origins.
Yeah. So you can tell Fox was like, we need to rebrand the X-Men a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. First Class, younger kids.
Yep.
First Class did well. Days of Future Past came out, which was a combination of both. Seeing
that was like basically the No Way Home for X-Men.
And that was like peak X-Men because it was like
so good.
Yes, like James McAvoy plays a great, then we have then you have the both sides, like from the old to new, and you're like, this was great. Yes.
Yeah.
And
then Lana was in, I want to say she was in
Apocalypse. Apocalypse was next.
Yeah, she was in Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, I think.
Okay.
I'm already forgetting which one, but we were led to believe, like marketing wise, that she had a bigger role because she was Jubilee. We thought that she had a bigger role than she ended up having, and then she was only in it for like 5 minutes, maybe.
Nice,
if even.
I love
which
that.
was kind of disappointing because
that's Zendaya effect right there.
Yeah, right.
in Dune.
And I really wanted to see more of her because I was just like, wow, she's like properly presented as we knew her. She had like the electric yellow coat and the big hoop earrings. And super duper cute 90s look, and then it just didn't pan out at all. So it was kind of sad because she probably won't be back. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm I'm ready to.
Why not, right?
To move into
let's
the Fox.
go.
Into the Fox.
I'm willing to forfeit Gambit being the first X-Man for Jubilee simply because Captain Cheese said let's go.
And then, who knows when the new X-Men are going to get introduced.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
in
it's
a
already
month and
technically confirmed, I
know,
guess.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah.
But what other mutants we may finally see in the MCU. And so that's kind of bringing us to our next sort of semi-topic, which, speaking of episodes, we're taking tons of character suggestions for our upcoming episodes. So please, if you have any, let us know. But here are a few for you that have been suggested so far. So, aside Jubilee, Dr. Octopus, Carnage, Agent Coulson, Sam Wilson / Captain America, Nick Fury, Okoye and the Dora Milaje. Speaking of Okoye, Bucky Barnes, the Black Knight, Daredevil, Rogue, Gambit. Speaking of Professor X. Speaking of Juggernaut. Friend of the pod, Eddie Wilson of the Marvelists, actually, he shared some thoughts too, and he wanted to ask if we were doing Moon Knight or Ghost Rider, and I told him Moon Knight was definitely happening. Ghost Rider's another interesting one. Have you seen those films? Nicolas Cage, baby.
I have, but obviously that came out so long ago, so I would need to.
That's like the last time I remember seeing Eva Mendes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because she's.
Forgot about that. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. She was great.
Because my last depiction of Ghost Rider was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, like that
the
run,
new guy.
like introduced, and I was like, oh, okay, they're doing it.
Yeah, no, he's great too. That's a great version of the character too. That guy is playing Tommy in the Last of Us series with Pedro Pascal.
Oh.
He's playing his brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, and I know he really loved playing Robbie Reyes, and so I was like, and they actually did that. They served that character pretty well in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I thought they did too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
enjoyed
so
it.
I wonder
from
if
what I remember.
Yeah. So there's technically only one Ghost Rider that they haven't covered yet, who is Danny Ketch. So I don't know if we'll ever see that one.
I mean, who knows, man? The sky's the limit.
Yeah, truly. And I'm just like, now I'm just kind of fixated on the idea of seeing Nick Cage as Ghost Rider in Multiverse of Madness.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Cage was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But yeah, so if you have any character suggestions, please let us know. We have about 2, 3, maybe 3 already lined up, and then after that, it's kind of a free game.
Yeah.
Depends on the films that are coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Oof.
So that's the end of the show. Hopefully, it's actually a mini Marvel for once.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. But next up, we have the Green Goblin.
Gabby.
So we're gonna sabbatical, honey.
Can the Spider-Man come out to play?
So stay tuned for our Green Goblin episode coming in a couple of weeks. A We Are Groot salute to Robin, Nats, Jenny, Ariel, Ashley, the Arachnid, Laura, Jo, Liz, Katie, Melanie, Andrew, Claire, Ed, and Tyler.
Woo!
Follow us on social at STRKCNTRST. If you like what you hear, review, rate, and subscribe.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo.
Thanks, guys, and we will see you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
He was wonderful in showing me the ropes and collaborating with me in finding this amazing dynamic between Clint and Kate. You're a Hawkeye!
Who the hell are you?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Are you doing Batman?
Where is she?
Okay, that's not even the right cinematic universe.
Yes, it is.
No, it's definitely not.
You're wrong. It is. There's been crossovers. There has. I've seen them.
Tom, if you keep doing this, we're gonna get sued.
I have so much money. I'm Batman.